Hello, everyone. My name is Gregory. I'm the son of the governor, the richest man in our state. Yeah, I'm a golden boy, a posh fat cat, Mr. ATM, or, whatever you want to call me. But that's not me, actually. Once upon a time, I had the luxury life many people dream of. I lived in a luxurious house. I had an expensive car with a personal driver. I spent holidays in different countries. I had the best tutors, and I visited an elite private school any parents would only dream of. But all of this has nothing to do with me. I mean, not anymore. Would you like to hear my story? Then watch this video to the end, and don't forget to like it. My dad is one of the coolest and toughest guys I've ever met, but I've never seen him doing any of the things a regular dad usually does with his son. I mean, we didn't hang out together, we didn't go fishing, we didn't go to the movies or McDonald's. He didn't teach me how to fix the cars in the garage. He appeared in my life only when I was 6. Me and my mom lived separately from my dad in a beautiful house on the beach. My mom didn't work, of course, there was no need. Still, I had a lot of nannies and tutors taking care of me so that I always looked perfect, like a little gentleman. Those were my mom's words. She spent most of her time in beauty salons or in fitness clubs, or she was with my dad at some important events. Well, at least I saw her, unlike my dad. Then, apparently, I became old enough to appear in public, so we moved to the state capital. My dad had a townhouse there, and that's where we met. However, I was so scared to see him for the first time, I could not even answer any of his questions. Well, just imagine. You're living somewhere surrounded by security and various expensive things. Suddenly, you put on a creepy suit that you hate, and the 2 security guards looking like the size of gorillas are leading you along a gloomy corridor to the office of some creepy old dude who's supposed to be your dad. My nanny read a lot of fairy tales to me when I was a kid, and I should say, such meetings in some gloomy castles never ended well. Apparently, I was very disappointed in my dad then, because my favorite teacher was fired. I couldn't answer any of Dad's questions, but not because I was stupid, but because I was too shy. He hired a new teacher, and me and my dad didn't cross paths for a couple of years. I only saw him on TV when the news was on. Then I suddenly found out my dad was a governor, a tough guy. And anyway, I was very lucky to be born in such a rich family. But how in the world can you call me lucky if I didn't even have the right of freedom? I couldn't simply go out without security guards following me. I guess luck has another meaning, Every day was scheduled by the minute. I'm not kidding. I had 5 minutes to go to the bathroom in the morning, and the same 5 minutes before going to bed. Still, I had some more time for a shower or a bath, 20 minutes straight. My new teacher was always standing with a stopwatch under the door. 8 hours for sleep. As they said, discipline was the priority. For the rest of the time, I had classes of no end, ranging from 3 foreign languages to the African tribes' traditions, because only God knows what may happen in life, and I always have to be on the top. That's what my dad said. As you've already guessed, I've never had any friends. The word friends wasn't in my schedule. You must, it's important, don't forget. But no friends. Then I went to school. It was a super elite school. It was so elite there were only 3 other students in my class. The whole school probably had 20 kids of different ages. Everyone had such a busy schedule that we didn't even have time to make friends with each other. Anyway, I lived in a vacuum until I was 15, and I sincerely believed the only option of my mouth was to say some proper and polite phrases, answer the questions at the classes, and put food there, according to the etiquette. At 15, my pink glasses got broken. They transferred me to a different school that looked more like a maximum security prison, and I saw that things could be totally different. Yeah, like other kids from that school, I got to the school by an expensive car with a personal driver. Yeah, and I was always followed by personal guards. In the evening, I was locked up in my house and I couldn't even get out. I watched other kids having a normal life. They talked to each other, texted in messengers, laughed at some jokes, but I couldn't even smile when I wanted. I always had to wear a poker face. Then I found out the rules for other teenagers were not the same as mine. They all went to the nightclubs, they had girls, and they would go to each other's places and have fun, throwing Gatsby-style parties. My world turned upside down. That was the first time I went up to my dad myself, without even setting a time in his schedule. I walked straight into his office. Of course, I checked first to see if anyone else was there. I said I wanted to live a normal life like everyone else. I was already 15 and I liked one girl from my school. I want to buy myself the things I really wanted to wear instead of all these stupid suits and ties. And my classmate invited me to his birthday party and I want to go to it. Instead of supporting me, my dad explained to me where I could put my ideas in. My dad said if I was old enough to talk about my life and my rules, then... So that's where my story ends. Really. I mean, he said if I wanted to live like everyone else, then I have to earn my own living. My dad didn't kick me out of the house. My room is still mine, as is the driver and the clothing and the food. I don't have to embarrass him, but as for everything else, now I decide by myself. I must earn my own money in my free time, and I no longer will have any pocket money. And yeah, no one's going to help me find a job. I have to do it myself. It turned out it was almost impossible to find a job for a 15-year-old guy. Well, I don't really want to hand out flyers. I mean, in our expensive area, newspapers are carried out by a specially trained person. And it would be ridiculous if me, who could fluently speak Spanish and French, would start to hand out flyers somewhere. And I couldn't physically get out of the area. I didn't have the money to do it, even on the bus, because we lived far away from the city and it was difficult to get there by a public transport. So I started my career by selling one of my expensive suits on eBay. And I used the money I earned to go to the city and learn about the real life as it is. And I almost got killed when I tried to cross the highway. Of course, I got used to it later. I found a part-time job. At first, it was quite a simple one. I swept the streets in the early morning. The money I earned was enough to pay for my travel and my school meals. And, it was a strange feeling to earn money for food by yourself when you always had meals in expensive restaurants. But over time, I got used to it. I even started to move on. With luck and a little lies, I got a job in a small bar. Well, I said I was already 21 years old. I definitely looked older than my age. I started cleaning the floors and toilets there. Then, after one of my new friends gave me a fake driver's license, I got behind the bar. And that's where I realized I had found my vocation. For some reason, when I was behind the bar, among all these colorful bottles and glasses, shakers, straws, coffee makers, and syrups, I was happy. And I made other people happier, letting them have more fun. I almost believed something good and real appeared in my life. I even started dreaming of opening my own bar, mixing cocktails, and living my life as my heart wanted it. But the picture of me behind the bar stand got on the front pages of many newspapers. I don't know who took this picture, but it doesn't matter. The more important thing was my dad saw it. There was a huge scandal. Honestly, at that moment, I didn't care what he was saying. I was only afraid I would be banned from continuing to work because this was the only thing that made me really happy in my stupid life. But it turned out my dad had other plans for me. He kicked me out of the house. I mean, really. My dad just called security and said he didn't expect anything good from me and that I could go anywhere. It's not their problem to follow me anymore. If I choose to ruin his reputation, then he chooses never to see me again. That's what he said. It's like, yeah, we saw each other so often, and that's how I got on the street. No money, no clothes, no food, just the documents. At that time, I'd already finished high school. Well, at least I had some education. That's just it. I don't know. Thank God I have some job and life experience, because if my dad kicked me out at 15, it all would have ended very quickly. I probably would end up under the nearest highway bridge with some hobos, but I have been living such a double life for 3 years. So my dad's plans about me did not come true. Now I continue to work in a bar, but it's another bar where no one knows me. I had a new haircut and I wear secondhand clothes. I wonderfully changed my appearance. I rent an apartment together with a friend of mine. I have classes for bartenders in the evening, and I must say, I'm happy. Yeah, I don't have a fancy car and a golden palace to live in, but now I have something every golden boy could only dream of. Freedom. Lots of cool friends, boys and girls. The opportunity to do what you love and live the way you want. So yeah, I am the son of the governor, the richest man in the state, and I have just an average salary, which is enough only to buy the most necessary things. But I have happiness. And as for the money, well, I'm still young. My whole life's ahead of me, and I know I would definitely earn as much as I want. I never saw my dad again or even called him. Just sometimes I see his face on TV when he's on the news, but I immediately switch it. And yeah, I vote for another candidate when he had elections. Yeah, I call it my little revenge. Write in the comments what you think of my story. Click the like button if you enjoyed it. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button to stay tuned and never miss new stories. Bye!